From 1877 to 1950, more than 4,000 African Americans were lynched, so the EJI tries to remember them by installing over 800 steel monuments. Those are the names of people who were lynched in Maryland. Their names were written from county to county: Baltimore County, Cecil County, PG County, and many other more.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Gabriel Keke. So today I'm looking at the highlight of my day. I went to Legacy Museum and the National Memorial for Peace and Justice today. So when I describe my day in 3 words, I would say that my days I felt ignorant, enlightened, and overwhelmed. I felt ignorant in the sense that most of the things I learned today, I don't really know them. So learning those new things today kind of make me feel ignorant. And I felt enlightened because I learned new things. I was able to observe some new informations. Then I felt overwhelmed because most of the things I learned today was kind of like so emotional. So I felt overwhelmed in that aspect. Then when I try to talk about what challenged me most today, I would say that is the fact that the hardship that was meted out for African Americans during the segregation era, it kind of like challenged me because I was wondering why the supremacists had to treat the black people the way they treated them. Looking at the fact that these black people, even though they were slaves, they were actually the machine behind the success of white people. Because when you look at it, as slaves, they work in cotton plantations, they work in farms. So when you look at the white supremacists in those era getting rich, they get rich because of the labor of those slaves. So I feel like they could actually have done better towards those slaves instead of treating them the way they treated them. Then if I try to connect my experience to the class, I will just use one word, which is terrorism, because everything that was done to them is an act of terrorism. You know, you look at how a lot of people were lynched. Some were lynched just because of mere accusation. Some were lynched just because of what they said with their mouth. So when I look at all those things, it's kind of crazy that we live in a society that was built on such kind of ill treatment towards the black and should I just say African Americans. Then if I try to connect my experience to myself personally, I would say everything I saw today connected to me personally, because I myself am an African. I'm from Nigeria in West Africa. And when you look at the history, most of those slaves, they were sold from Africa. So I feel like biologically those are like my brothers and sisters that got here and went through all those things. So it made me kind of feel pain personally. I feel like those things that they went through were actually done to me. Because when I look at the visuals at the Legacy Museum, it kind of like brought everything to the limelight. Because when you read it in books, when you hear the stories, it's just like a fairy tale. But going to the museum and be able to visualize all those things, it makes you to feel as if you are experiencing it in real life. So I feel very personal connected to everything I saw in the museum. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.